In nature, the biggest or the strongest does not always win. Sometimes the death sentence is barely a couple of meters long, with dark scales and the speed of lightning. Today we will witness silent horror, how a small creature can bring down the most feared predators on the planet with a single touch. Get ready, because this is the story of Africa's most feared assassin. In this clip, we see the king of the jungle, the ultimate symbol of dominance, convulsing on the ground, reduced to a defenseless creature after the lethal bite of a black mamba. His eyes, once full of ferocity, now reflect pure terror and ancestral fear upon realizing he is losing control over his body and his own fate. The neurotoxic venom has begun its ruthless work. Muscle paralysis and respiratory collapse destroy the great feline from within. The camera captures the moment the lion convulses violently, his muscles contracting involuntarily as he struggles for every breath of air. There are no roars, only a disturbing silence marked by agony impossible to hide. It is a brutal reminder of the fragility possessed even by the most feared predators when faced with the deadliest poisons on the planet. In this clip, we find a hyena lying on the ground making slight movements indicating it is convulsing. The cause was a black mamba that bit it silently, and by the time the hyena realized, it was already too late. The venom caused its nervous system to paralyze and its muscles to contract, suffering agony that lasted for 10 minutes until it finally stopped breathing. What a painful end. A male lion lies dead in the grass, but his story does not end there. The mamba comes across the corpse and, upon detecting no movement or response, enters an instinctive state of confusion. For the mamba, the unmistakable scent of the lion is a warning of danger, but noticing that the enemy does not respond, its nature dictates an unavoidable order: attack, eliminate, and survive. The reptile lunges at the cold body, biting repeatedly in a futile act, for the predator has already been defeated by death. It is a surreal scene showing how logic has no place in nature. Sometimes, even death must be confirmed by an attack. In this tragic episode, we witness how another big feline meets an unexpected end when crossing paths with the lethality of a black mamba. By all indications, the lion was stalking in the thickness of the brush, senses sharpened and waiting for the perfect moment to pounce on its next victim. However, that prey never arrived. Instead, the snake moved with terrifying efficiency and surprised it with a lightning-fast attack before the feline could even react. The bite was so quick and silent that it is very possible the lion did not even feel the initial prick. Only when the potent venom began to circulate through its body, paralyzing muscle fibers and gradually stealing vitality, did the great predator understand, too late, that his reign had come to an end. One image said it all. The lion's gaze, with the white of his eyes fixed on the void, reflected the silent and unbearable pain consuming him from within. A zebra, a symbol of life on the savannah, has sealed its fate in a relentless encounter with a black mamba. After the bite, the effect is immediate and devastating. We see the zebra twisting on the ground, its body shaken by uncontrollable spasms as the venom, fast enough to escape any rescue but slow enough to drag the victim into unbearable agony, attacks its nervous system. Its herd mates come close, sniff the air uncertainly, but ultimately can only watch helplessly. There is no defense or consolation against the overwhelming weight of inevitability. Nature is cruel, and seeing this creature succumb to the power of something so small is a chilling reminder that on the savannah, death does not always come quickly, but it always comes. In the next footage, we witness a scene of tough love reflecting wild wisdom. A mother leopard throws her own cubs in front of a highly venomous cobra. Her message is clear: in the jungle, there is no room for the weak. The mother knew she would not always be there, so she pushed her cubs to face this great challenge so they would learn to survive. The cubs, though novices, react by instinct, dodging and learning in a tense confrontation where they manage to make the reptile retreat. They may have emerged with their hearts racing, but they gained the greatest gift nature can offer: the ability to survive on their own. Now we move to another unexpected downfall. Cheetahs are the fastest animals in the animal kingdom and also among the most dangerous felines. However, this one encountered a black mamba. According to witnesses, the reptile bit it on one of its front legs, and in less than 5 minutes, the feline fell to the ground and began convulsing. As happened with the hyena and the lions, the mamba's venom thoroughly contaminated the cheetah's blood and gradually contracted its muscles. Within minutes, the feline stopped breathing. This was a clear reminder that mamba venom does not differentiate between a giant animal and a small one. In both, it is equally deadly. And speaking of large animals, here we witness that even an elephant, the largest and strongest mammal in the animal kingdom, is not exempt from being affected by a black mamba's attack. We see the elephant lying on the ground, moving abruptly in all directions due to the snake's venom effects. The mammal is struggling to resist and survive, and while it's true that it can endure a little longer than other animals, all signs point to its fate also being sealed. However, as if by a miracle, some veterinarians who witnessed the event treated the animal and injected an antidote to reverse the venom. Afterwards, they took its pulse. Against all odds, the elephant survived. There was luck that human help was present to save the animal. Here we observe an imposing lion, a beast feared by nearly everyone, falling victim to its own confidence. In its arrogance, it never imagined that a creature as small as a black mamba could steal its life. One quick movement, one precise bite, and fate is sealed. The video illustrates that no matter how much you weigh or how many muscles you have, the biochemistry of the black mamba is superior to any physical force. What started as just another day for the king ends in an agonizing and definitive fall. This lesson is clear. In nature, size or fame does not guarantee survival, and even the most feared predator can be brought down by what it least expects. The camera delves into the darkness of a burrow, a terrain where black mambas perfectly dominate. The snake glides with overwhelming speed toward that hiding place, seeming like a dark shadow rising from nowhere to devour the defenseless inhabitants. The rodents, trapped in a space without exit, enter absolute panic. The mamba reaches one of them and wastes no time turning it into its dinner, first injecting a swift venom that seals its fate and then devouring it. There, in the darkness and silence, broken only by the sound of terror, it is confirmed that there is no safe place against a predator that masterfully controls its environment. This scene begins in an arid terrain where tension can be cut with a knife. A black-necked spitting cobra, an imposing specimen with an icy gaze, crosses paths with a puff adder, much smaller and more vulnerable. The cobra, aware of its superiority in reach and speed, launches a lightning attack with surgical precision. Its fangs sink deeply into the puff adder's body, injecting a potent venom that acts as an immediate death sentence. The victim, completely overwhelmed, doesn't even try to fight back. It only futilely attempts to flee while its nervous system disconnects function by function. The cobra remains motionless, watching with chilling calm as life leaves its opponent. It is a brutal lesson of how death advances without haste, waiting for its meal to cool.